So it sounds like you're prejudiced against brown sand.
I wasn't saying it.
Prefer the white
The
sand.
light is saying. Yeah, what's going on with that?
Damn straight.
It ain't trying to be coarse to you, Kevin. It's trying to live, Kevin. It's just trying to live, bro.
It's just different cultures.
Yeah, just,
Oh, sure.
just because one piece of sand didn't get all the sun that the other one did, that would mean you got to do it like that. I'm just saying.
I did it like that.
You sure did.
I did all up in its face, neck, and chest.
Hey, it's John Michael Higgins, and you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, Rachel, and they'll send you through some hairpin turns and high-speed loops out there on the test track, so buckle your seatbelts.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way. Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
This is a show where every opinion is welcome and nothing we present is groundbreaking or terribly exciting. It's just some filler for your life if you need it. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. We present our next installment in a series comparing Royal Caribbean Cruise Line to Disney Cruise Line. On this episode, we discuss the private islands as well as leaving the Disney bubble. And look, this isn't your typical polish, practice, pixie dust, and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in the Magic Kingdom over at Walt Disney World every day, letting you know that the paint job on Cinderella's castle is almost complete.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and explore your prejudices against sand.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You listeners have the easy part. All you guys and girls have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
And look, if you're thinking about visiting a major theme park or taking a cruise in the near future, Rachel can help you book that. Booking with Rachel is one of the easiest ways to support this show. Also, you can leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters, both past and present, for all they have done and continue to do for us. And before we get into it real quick, since the last time we recorded, Josh D'Amaro has taken office in the Walt Disney Company.
Yay! Happy to hear it.
Great, big, beautiful D'Amaro, as Danny coined.
We're gonna see how this
There it
goes.
is. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of good things. So a lot of good things.
But the hair's a great start. So
He's
you
got
can't
good
go
hair.
wrong with that.
He's got hair. It's
Last
nice.
guy you had that had no hair, look how rough he had it.
Yeah, and he did a lightsaber thing on the whatever it was, the Galactic Star Cruiser. I remember he did something like that.
Oh, okay.
He was promoting that feature, which no longer exists. Maybe we shouldn't bring that up. But first, being president.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, whatever. We move on.
Do that.
Life goes on. All right, yo, look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go cruising. Welcome to the Hub, the big topic segment of our show. And for the past month or so, we've been talking about our adventures with the Disney Company. Danny discussed his trip to Walt Disney World for Festival of the Arts. And Rachel discussed her trip to Aulani over there in Hawaii. And on the last episode, 621, I began a series comparing Royal Caribbean Cruise Line with Disney Cruise Line and began with each company's cruising philosophy, which boiled down basically to the mega ship, which is Royal, versus the magic ship, which is Disney. So make sure you go back, check out those episodes, especially if you're planning any summer trips.
That's mega ship, not maga ship, Kevin.
Oh,
Make
God.
sure you pronounce that clearly.
Or Megatron.
Oh, God.
I am the ship to rule all ships.
I would watch that.
So look, if you are planning a trip in the summer or later this year for various holiday seasons or events or what have you, Rachel could definitely help you book that. Rachel, how can they contact you?
Yeah, best way is by email, Rachel, RACHEL @magicourway.com.
Right on. So look, okay, on day one, as I mentioned in the last show, was embarkation day for us. We got on the boat, we got our bearings straight, and spent the first night in our rooms. And we woke up, we arrived at our first stop, and in my particular itinerary, it was one of Royal Caribbean's private islands, Perfect Day at CocoCay. And so that's where our comparison leads us to, is these private islands that each of the companies have. And for this, I'm going to compare the ones that I did experience, which is Castaway Cay, I guess, and Perfect Day at CocoCay, just to keep the rhyming things happening.
Okay, KKK.
So, yeah. basically one of the biggest difference between Disney Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean doesn't just happen on the ship. It definitely happens when you get off of it. And both cruise lines have their own private islands. They have other islands as well. And I think Royal Caribbean's got Labadee. Is that right?
Yes, Royal Caribbean also has the Labadee, which isn't a private island. It's a private beach in Haiti. But a lot of the cruises aren't stopping there right now because of
the unrest.
Political unrest.
Yeah.
But once that's back under wraps, then they're going to stop there again. And I've heard it's incredible. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a great cruise stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. I didn't realize it was just a beach. I thought that it was kind of like an island setup like the other ones were.
Well, it'll feel very similar, but you're just where like CocoCay is like a whole island that Royal Caribbean controls and like owns. Labadee is just on Haiti.
Okay, I got you. And then Disney has another new island that came online, which I know you visited, right? I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah. It's very similar to Labadee. It's not a full island. It's just a beach on an island. But yeah, their private beach is Lookout Cay on the island of Eleuthera.
That's right. That's right. That's where they had the old fashioned you talked about or something. The banana old fashioned, is that right?
No, it was
it's
a frozen old fashioned.
Yeah. Frozen old fashioned. That's right.
It was incredible. Like I would go back to that island just for that drink. Like I would book a cruise that went to that island. You know, if I had to pick between Castaway Cay or Lookout Cay, it'd be because I want that old fashioned.
All right. I like that.
Nice. All right. So let's start with Disney's Island. All right. This is Castaway Cay. That's the one that I experienced. And it sounds like Castaway Cay more resembles Perfect Day CocoCay, right?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
They control most of the island. And it sounds like the other two island or stops are like just beaches and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's begin with Castaway Cay or Castaway Cay. I never know what to say, but regardless, Castaway Cay, just to keep the rhyming, it feels like Disney took a real tropical island and just gently enhanced it, right? And that's the feeling I always got from whenever I visit that place. I've been there twice. It's quiet, it's relaxed, and nothing feels overwhelming. And most of what you'll do here is included with your cruise. And that's kind of pertinent to say because there's something I have to say about Perfect Day, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So the included experiences you have beaches like the Family Beach, Scuttle's Cove area for kids. There's a snorkeling lagoon where you can actually find hidden statues underwater, you know, which is very Disney kind of thing. You can rent bikes, you know, you can ride along the island trails. Rent bikes, of course, that's a little extra maybe cost that goes along with it, but it's definitely not as expensive as some of the things that we'll talk about with Royal. And there's even a tram that takes you all the way out to Serenity Bay, which is the adults only beach, you know, which of course you can rent cabanas and whatnot. And Serenity Bay is exactly what you sound like. We went there for my honeymoon. It was very, very nice. There's no chaos, no kids, just chairs, umbrellas, cabanas if you want them, and ocean.
Yeah. My only complaint with Serenity Bay was that at least when I was there, the beach was a little bit rocky until you got out to a certain point. So like I kind of almost wished I had water shoes because it kind of hurt my feet and then like once you got past the like maybe 6 to 8 feet of rocks, you know, while you're walking in, then it got sandy again and it was nice, but it was a little painful getting out there.
Yeah, it's real. I'll talk about that a little bit. I found some issues with the sand in general with the Bahamas, but I'll explain why in a little bit, just because maybe I might be a little biased. But anyway,
you're prejudiced against sand?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
I didn't know how to. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. But anyway, look, let's talk about some food. Even the lunch over in Castaway Cay is simple. The Cookies Barbecue and Cookies 2 barbecue spots are included. And it's just easy, man. There's no upsell. There's no pressure. You know, like I said, there's some extra cost options. Like I said, you can rent snorkel gear, bikes, float tubes. Of course, they got the cabanas, you know, which are more of a premium experience. You got some of that. But overall, Castaway Cay feels like a place where almost everything you need is already included. And you're not really thinking about what costs extra. You're just enjoying the island. Rachel, would you say that's a good way to capture that, or at least the feeling of it?
Yeah, I think so. The couple of times I have done some extra rentals at Castaway Cay, I wished I hadn't. We did the aqua bikes or aqua trikes or whatever. You know what I mean?
With those big bubbly like, big tire wheels. Things?
Yeah. We did those and like it was fine, but I kind of was like, well, I wish I was still on the beach.
Yeah.
So, you know? So, yeah, I don't really recommend to people to have them do anything besides just enjoy the beach when they're at Castaway Cay.
Yeah, this thing's always look fun for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It ends up being work.
It doesn't look like you're moving.
Well, it is. It is work. And I also, when you do that with my son was probably 4 at the time. He can't really help you. So you're just doing that bike
Ooh.
by yourself.
Alone.
But you walked away with you tried to walk away with killer thighs and glutes, right?
I did.
Is that what happened?
I tried.
You got your workout in
got your workout on.
and soreness.
Oh, wow.
You needed a spa day after that. You need your glutes, as Danny would say. Has to be done. All right, so let's go over to Royal's Island, CocoCay, a completely different story. CocoCay feels like Royal Caribbean took an island and turned it into a full-on resort.
Okay.
Or honestly, maybe in some aspects, a theme park at the beach.
Oh.
So there are included experiences, like I mentioned with Disney. There include areas like Oasis Lagoon, which is one of the largest freshwater pools in the Caribbean. You've got beaches like South Beach and Chill Island, and there's included food spots like Skipper's Grill and Chill Grill.
Chill Grill.
Yeah, Chill Grill. Chill Grill. Get some hot dogs and whatever else. So you could definitely have a full day here without spending the extra money.
Looks loud.
Yeah, it definitely looks like when we backed up to it. And that's what most of the Royal Caribbean ships do when they back up to it. So when you go out to the back, I'm standing by like where the zip line load area and stuff is. You look out there and it just looks. I know it looks like somebody took Roller Coaster Tycoon and built a resort on an island. So it looks just like that crazy. If people ever play that game, it just
Yeah.
it's just like Sim Coaster or a Sim theme park, something like that. It just seems active.
So it's over the top then, in your opinion?
Yeah, a little bit. Let me share this doc. I put a doc together of just pics. So there are extra cost areas, and this is the key difference because it does look loud because there's a lot of things to do. However, a lot of the things you have to do will cost extra. That's where things really change. A lot of the headline attractions, like the Thrill Water Park, which is where you'll find Daredevil's Peak, one of the tallest water slides in North America. That's a paid add-on.
Oh.
The zip line that runs across the island, which I kind of wanted to do, but then I was like, oh, I got to pay extra for that? Now skip. I'll just do the one on the boat. Also extra. Yeah. And then there's the Coco Beach Club. And this is where you get those overwater cabanas, like Bora Bora style at the Coco Beach Club.
Oh.
Infinity pool, upscale dining. But again, a premium price.
Fair.
So like, maybe the people at the suites would visit this or whatever else. So while there's a ton to do, a lot of the wow stuff is behind a paywall, so to speak, which I found. And CocoCay feels like a place where you can relax, but it's really designed for you to upgrade your experience. That's what I walked away with. So for this, the core difference is Castaway Cay feels like everything is already taken care of, and CocoCay feels like you're choosing how much you want to spend to level up your day.
Yeah, it looks like it's two completely different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
One is for a day of relaxation at the beach, and the other is for a water park / amusement area
/ Bora Bora style adults. Not really adults area, but who's paying for this kind of experience, like a mini Atlantis,
yeah,
on their own private island.
It kind of looks like you remember the first Scooby-Doo movie with Matthew Lillard, and they went to Spooky Island.
Yes,
it looks a lot like that.
Yes, yeah, it's like actually if you think of Disney, like what's the movie with the minds, the sadness and happy.
Wait, what?
Damn. The movie, the
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yeah, and they got the different the characteristic islands or whatever they called it. It reminds me of that, because when you look out the back, it's like you see this word, perfect day at CocoCay, and then you look at it, it's like, wow, that's, and then it's like, a lot of different things that you're going on there. So yeah, so for me, to sum this particular piece up, Disney built an island to relax on, and Royal Caribbean built an island to play on.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
So I have heard this criticism from mostly my friend Elizabeth, who's a travel agent. Her and I go back and forth about Royal Caribbean and Disney. I think she would say that she is 100% like Disney Cruise Line. There is no substitute.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a little bit more mixed on it. I actually prefer CocoCay, Royal Caribbean's island. And I prefer it even without spending any money. I think what I guess some people feel, maybe what you're kind of alluding to here, is that there are a lot of like in your face ways to spend more money on the island. Like the water park is hard to miss. And there's an adults only area that is an upcharge as well. It's not a huge upcharge, but it is an upcharge. But I actually prefer CocoCay because they have the pool. And like our family just prefers the pool over the beach. We're like pool swimmers versus ocean swimmers. And so we love like being near the ocean and walking the beach and like exploring it, do it a little bit. But then we like to spend most of the day in the pool area, and Castaway Cay just doesn't offer that. And so it's nice to get both, and both areas are complimentary. You can enjoy. You don't have to pay extra for beach, obviously, but then also the pool. They have a gigantic pool that is just complimentary.
Yeah, that's true. You've made that point before. They are more pool people than anything else. I would say my family is more beach people than, I mean, we like the pool too, but most of the time we like the beach, the sand, or whatever else.
I'm more with Rachel on this one. I prefer the pool than the beach.
They have a beautiful, huge pool that's complimentary. It has a swim up bar, like a really nice swim up bar. And then it has like bar tables in the pool area. So you can like enjoy the bar table and still be all the way submerged in the pool. And it has like a lot of these little, like kind of maybe like a cubby or an alcove is a way to describe it. Like the pool has a bunch of like little offshoots that you can kind of go to with your family and have it feel a little bit more private. So we do that. We really like that pool.
Yeah, my thing, chlorine, chlorine bothers me sometimes. You know, especially when it gets up in my nose. Where salt is feels a little bit more gentle, I guess, because it's natural. Yeah.
But man, you got some gay sand and water.
I do. Yeah.
Tough.
But but I agree with you. There are a lot more like in your face ways to spend money at CocoCay for sure. You know, and the first time we went there, we didn't spend any money. We didn't do any upcharges. And my kids were like, what? We're not doing those water slides? And I was like, no.
Right.
Oh, that's got to be torture.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a bummer. But I was like, guys, we're going to have a blast. And the next time we're here, we'll do the water slides. And so then the next time we went, I came through and we did the water slides. And they were fine. But it wasn't like anything more exciting than the water parks we have up here or that you probably have in your hometowns. And so when we returned for a third time, the kids didn't even ask about the water park. They didn't care.
Oh, they're once the experience are over. That, you know, that's a very, because I didn't do the water parks. I didn't want to spend the extra money, but I like that you made that take that it was just something like you could experience anywhere else. Because I think that's a significant point.
It's not special.
Yeah. It's maybe, you know, it's not terribly special, but other than the fact that it lives on their island and you can access it, and maybe it's a little bit more colorful or whatever else. And it's definitely in the Caribbean. So you're going to have that weather experience. Yeah. For me personally, with this whole thing, we stuck with the included things, as I mentioned. We hung out mostly on the beach, which is, as I mentioned, that's what we prefer. You know, it's nice. But the thing I recognize this, and we'll go back to this point that I made earlier, is the sand. And I felt that Castaway Cay sand maybe was a little bit softer or less coarse than the sand at CocoCay. I found the sand at CocoCay to be really, really rough. Like my feet were getting exfoliated like crazy. It was awesome. You know, I walked away with soft feet, but you know, it's like at what expense? At what expense I'd have to go through it to get rid of those dead cells? But I know too much about exfoliation. Anyway, I have to qualify that saying this, that we live near some of the best white sand beaches along the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about really fine sand, really soft sand. It's amazing the difference. Even when you're talking about the sand in like Florida, which is more the brown sand kind of stuff, that's just as soft as well. But yeah, I mean, we got Gulf Coast, you know, from like Destin to all the Fort Walton, Perdido, Navarre Beach, all those particular Pensacola, all those little different areas. Really nice soft sand beaches, like fluffy, not snow fluffy, but it doesn't exfoliate me as much as like the sand in the Bahamas, I guess. So
it sounds like you're prejudiced against brown sand.
I wasn't saying it.
Prefer the white,
the lighter sand. Yeah, what's going on with that?
Damn straight.
It ain't trying to be coarse to you, Kevin. It's trying to live, Kevin. It's just trying to live, bro.
It's just different cultures.
Yeah,
sure.
Just because one piece of sand didn't get all the sun that the other one did, that don't mean you got to do it like that. I'm just saying.
I did it like that.
You sure did.
I did all up in its face, neck, and chest.
I can't look at you the same. I don't know, man. No, I was gonna say, like, I think it makes sense though that Royal Caribbean, like you were saying earlier about the boat in the like that last episode, it had like a lot of people out there partying, going wild. So it would make sense that they would have to keep their beach kind of keeping that same, what would you say, style of energy, so to speak. Not to say that I would get on the water slide. I was looking at these pictures. Some of these look like I would die if I like got
tallest water slide in North America.
Yeah, I'll pass. But there might be some adventurous kid. Like if this was me at, I don't know, 26, I would probably take that shot.
You know,
really?
I could see being kind of kept up on that boat for a while and then wanting to get out and do some of this. Like, you know, there's only so much lying around you can do, you know, and I feel like, you know, I would have done a lot of that on the boat. So I can see myself engaging in a lot of these activities.
Yeah, an infinity pool as well. That's like a that's like a style thing as well, right? I mean, that's like you see these like cool gangster movies and stuff like that where everybody overlooks some cool infinity pool, and it's like, man, that's awesome. So yeah, I can see somebody saying, hey, I'll pay for that style of experience and take that selfie or whatever to look, all cool and bad on social media. I would get that. And the other beach it just looked like a beach. Wasn't much to it. But again, being older, yeah, would I take quiet over chaos? Of course. But if I already picked a boat that had zip lines and partying everywhere, and everywhere you go is a drink and there's a club every night, why would I not want to keep that feeling going when I dock?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the philosophy we talked about the ships on the last episode. The ship philosophies, it carries over into their islands. Because you can definitely see the characteristics of how they approach their cruise ship industry in their island, in those two particular islands as well. I'm not sure about the Labadee or Eleuthera Lookout Key.
Okay,
but I gotta imagine maybe it's the same thing. Rachel, have you ever been to Labadee? Have you done a Royal Caribbean?
I've not been to Labadee.
Okay.
I have been to Lookout Key, and the sand was incredible.
Oh, see, that's nice.
What color sand was it?
Pink.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the pink.
It's like pink
fine
salt.
sand. Yeah.
okay,
Interesting.
Pink fine sand. No. So Lookout Key has incredible soft pink sand. One thing we haven't really talked about, Royal Caribbean has a new beach club at Nassau.
Oh, they do. Yeah. That was the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those short cruises that you take on Disney Cruise Line now, that'll go to one of the private islands. So it'll go to Lookout Key or Castaway Cay, and then it goes to Nassau. Most people just stay on the ship Nassau Day because there's just not a lot to do.
Mhm.
But if you sail on Royal, they have an incredible beach club now that's not super expensive, and drinks are included. And you go over there and it's, all inclusive food and drinks. And the beach, I have not been yet. I'm going to go in April, but the beach looks like it's that soft pink sand.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Okay.
Oh, well, Kevin
Yeah.
might
I
like
didn't notice
it.
it. I mean, when we parked, I looked out and I saw it and I was like, oh man, that place looks bumping.
Okay,
Like, let's
Yeah.
go. It's like, oh, what it costs. I was like, damn. I
Yeah.
probably didn't plan ahead adequately enough. But this is, I don't know if you remember, I showed y'all a video and they had this DJ that was playing like those music. And then every now and then he blows
Remember
smoke out, and just, I don't know why he blew smoke, but it was just like, do something.
Because he was high, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's hot. It is hot.
atmosphere.
No, high.
They have
Oh, high. Oh, he was high.
neighborhoods there. I'm
Yes.
having a hard time talking, but there's like a family neighborhood and then a quiet neighborhood and then the pumping DJ blowing smoke neighborhood.
That's what you
That's
want.
what I was hearing.
So
the
Yeah.
neighborhoods extend from off the boat, on the boat, and off the boat.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, see, that makes sense though. Again, like if you're okay, now let's say you're someone who's not going with your family, but you're going with your boys, or it's a ladies trip,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And so then you meet some guy, but you don't want everybody else to know. That's the perfect. That's the perfect place to go ahead and do. It's bumping, so you can say, "Hey, meet me at the club where all the smoke's at," so no one can see us do something mysterious. And
Oh, yeah. Is that what they
sneak
call
off
the
the
club?
beach.
All the smoke?
Club all the smoke.
Club all the smoke.
All the
Yeah,
smoke.
They
right,
want
it
the
is.
smoke.
Yeah, I do
So-
think Royal Caribbean is better at that overall, like both on the ships and on the islands, that they have different vibes. So if you want to have like a quiet, chill vibe, there's a place for you. If you want the big party vibe, there's a place for you too. Whereas Disney's like one vibe.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what it
Yeah.
sounds
Great
like.
if you like that vibe, it's really good. But if you want like different stuff, they're not offering like a lot of different stuff.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
get
so I
that.
guess if you have a large party and stuff that have different interests, varying ages, that might be a good way to go. Some people can go to the pumping place. The elders, or who I'm assuming elders, but me would go to like the chill place,
Two plays, yeah.
have a bunch of drinks, whatever else, soak up some sand, some vitamin D.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I
All
had-
that.
you have young kids, yeah, I would say take them to the chill.
Oh, they don't
place,
go to the film. Yeah,
But then let's say you're taking your kids and your kids are like in their 20s or whatever, where they don't really need you to hold their hand. Yeah, you would have to do the other place because, yeah, that would let them kind of explore, but they're still within your realm of influence, right?
If you got young kids, I just imagine the whole time while you sit at the beach, their little heads are turned back towards the huge water slides and rides and everything like,
What about that? Yep.
kid-
Other kids are screaming, wow, this is too much fun. And then, yeah, they're like, I want that.
yeah, but isn't just sitting here and getting baked in the sun more fun, Timmy?
Right.
No.
No. Here's a book for you to read,
Get your
Tim. You're going to
tan.
throw the book in your face. Yep.
yeah. It was funny when I was at Perfect Day. It was a nice day. So far it was a perfect day. But then all of a sudden it was like off in the distance. Like I don't know what island it was, but it was like dark. I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for them over there. We're getting all the sun. Yeah.
They had rough sand too.
I don't know what they had, but I know they had dark clouds. And so for a second, we're just like,
oh, what's wrong with dark clouds, Kevin?
See what I'm saying?
There's a lot of issues with dark clouds because I'm sitting there like, damn, that thing's getting close.
What's going on out
It's
there?
getting closer and closer.
I don't like you by these islands right now, Kevin.
Hey, man, that's all right.
I'm worried about this,
Totally
man.
comfortable with that because if all of a sudden it just started like spraying all over me, just like wet.
That's fate.
It was nuts.
You ain't like the sand. You ain't like some of the water. That was against the clouds. Thought you were a man of nature.
Because it dropped me wet.
Oh, man.
They got me soaked and everything else.
Thought you like that.
Yeah, some days.
All right.
That day was not that day.
All right.
It's all good.
Not that day.
Yeah, not that day.
Not that day.
So those basically are the two different islands that they have. You know, most of the time those are what you visit. And so just to kind of sum up this particular part of the show, if Disney is about immersion and storytelling, Castaway Cay fits that perfectly. It's that one theme, as Rachel mentioned. If Royal Caribbean is about big experiences and attractions, CocoCay fits that philosophy too. That's all just to reinforce everything we just talked about, where it's like the philosophies of the ship also carry over into their particular islands. So at least there's some consistency there. It's all about which one you'd like.
So, all right. So I had this question that.
Yes, sir.
So, like said, Castaway Cay, right? That's the Disney one, right?
Yes, the Disney one. Yes.
So is
Castaway.
that like,
Yeah, that's
so,
a Disney one.
So is that like, do they have like any sort of like little parties that, like, what's that Typhoon Lagoon? Like, you know, Typhoon Lagoon, they have like that. promo.
Like
you have the characters come out and they can dance. Does it offer
they have
anything
characters
like that?
when you get off the boat, like along the walkway and stuff like that.
Okay.
I saw that. Like Jack Sparrow was out there taking
They
pictures.
got those buoys that are painted up, which are a great little picture spot for a lot of people. So there's a lot of details it's Disney.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of details as far as theming goes.
Okay.
And whatnot. I mean, not to say that Royal Caribbean didn't have that. It was very well done. I mean, I don't know, Rachel. I didn't notice anything that like stood out. It's like, you know, that's like, oh wow, this is really, really cool. Other than like the very colorful water park and whatnot.
I got bored at Castaway Cay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more to do on the Royal Caribbean Island than Castaway Cay. Royal Caribbean Island has like a few. Well, it has one restaurant where you can sit down and get like chicken wings. The chicken wings aren't included, but the fries are, which is kind of a weird. Like
that is strange.
But like they have like live music and you can sit on the porch and have chicken wings and there's a bar, which is great. They have, you know, the different beach areas. So they have the chill beach, which is more quiet, but then they have the beach in the back of the island, which has like lawn games and pickleball and volleyball and like big chess. You know what I mean? The gigantic chess.
Yeah.
Like, lots of like games. Ping pong is out there. And they have a swim up bar in the ocean out there. And that one's more of just like a party kind of family vibe in the back of the island there. So that one's also like free and just included in being there, in the pool. And then there's a whole like shopping area. So I do feel like there's just more variety on, CocoCay, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think there's more different things to do there and take up your time versus Castaway Cay is just sort of like beach. And there are some character meets, like you can meet characters on Castaway Cay for sure.
Not as much a party vibe, although there's one place where there's kind of a DJ, if I remember correctly. And it's the same place where they had like the slide that goes into the water.
Oh, okay.
Into the ocean or whatever else. But it's not like bumping. I wouldn't classify it as Disney's bumping.
I love that slide though. It's a great slide.
Yeah, it's a neat little slide. I do enjoy that slide.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think more to do on CocoCay, more live entertainment for sure. More variety. We haven't talked about the food yet on the islands.
Well, you kind of mentioned about the barbecue over at
Disney,
Castaway
and
Cay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I'll talk about this when I actually do cover the foods thing. But just to kind of touch upon it, I felt like the food is almost kind of comparable in both of the cruise lines.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh my God. But it's not like, oh, this sucks. It's just like,
right.
It's there. It's acceptable.
It's acceptable.
You know, it nourishes what I need to nourish, and then I move on. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think one of the differences, it's like, this is a me thing. So I'm going to just acknowledge that this is my own subjective opinion. But Royal Caribbean on the private island serves tacos that have fresh made tortillas, like they're fresh pressed right there. And that's all I eat on the island. I just like have so many tacos. And so Castaway Cay, like the Disney islands, don't offer tacos. And so for me, tacos make it a big difference. But I know for most people, tacos isn't the only thing you want to eat on the island. So
Yeah, but I mean, there really wasn't that much of a variety. Like all it was barbecue over at Castaway Cay. I remember.
So CocoCay does have a big variety. I think they have the fresh tacos. They have the
pizza.
They have snack bars. So you can go up and get like mozzarella sticks, fried chicken sandwich, burgers, a salad, grilled vegetables, chicken fingers. Like they have like a grab and go snack bar in a lot of different places. Like there's a ton of different, they have fried dough. So like lots of different, kind of fresh made small batch snacks. And then they have the big barbecue locations, which have like Cuban sandwiches and burgers and corn and barbecue stuff. But then that's where they also have the tacos, which is what I eat.
Yes. And they have bars, regular bars.
Yeah. They have a lot more bars on the island too. But that's because I think in Royal Caribbean in general,
they have more bars in general.
There's just more bars. Yeah. Lots more bars.
What kind of tacos were they serving?
That's a great question. They have, it's make your own. It's a taco bar.
Oh.
So you get the fresh tortillas and then it's like chicken, beef, pork, black beans. So you pick what you want or multiple, whatever you want. And then guac, salsa,
sour cream, whatever.
Sour cream,
pico de gallo,
fresh cilantro. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Really good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely more variety on the Royal Caribbean Island for sure. And it matches their boat because they have a lot of good stuff on their boat too.
It's a big deal for me though, guys.
Tacos?
There's the tacos. So Royal Caribbean gets the big plus for the tacos. And I think that's the ultimate win. But the Disney Islands have the banana soft serve, which CocoCay does not have.
Banana soft
They
serve.
only have chocolate and vanilla.
Oh, this is true. You're right. Just like on the boat.
Mm-hmm. The banana soft serve is really good on the Disney Islands. So.
I don't know if I've tried the banana soft serve on Disney Island.
I don't think I'm pretty sure I have not.
I'm obsessed with the banana soft serve.
They don't have it on the boat?
Yes,
just on the island?
They do. Yeah.
They do
It'll be on Island Day. They have the banana soft serve on the boat and then they also have it on the island.
But that's it, right? They won't do it once they leave the island.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the other days they don't have the banana soft serve.
Back to like vanilla or chocolate.
Yeah. Or whatever. Usually each day, the first day, like embarkation day is just vanilla and chocolate. And then the next day they add a different flavor. So it'll be like strawberry or whatever. And then on Island Day, you get the banana.
Oh, it's true. I forgot about that. That's a better, because on the Royal Caribbean boat, they just had vanilla and chocolate the entire time.
That's it.
That's the sprinkles, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which my kids still enjoyed often. Yeah. But I mean,
you're not complaining about banana.
No, they're not.
Sorry. You're not complaining about vanilla and chocolate.
Yeah, they might complain about banana, but
Oh, not me.
No, my kids. But
I like banana.
All right. So that's the difference in the private islands, relaxing versus high energy and various options versus one particular theme. But when you step off the island and back on the ship, there's something you'll start to notice, especially if you're a Disney fan, pretty quickly after a full 24 hours on the ship. And this next segment, which we'll address, is the Disney bubble test, which we'll explore after this break. And we're back. Before the break, we were talking about Royals and Disney's private islands. Now let's get back on the ship and discuss things you'll notice as a Disney fan after having spent 24 hours on the ship. And this is a part of the show I will call the Disney bubble test. This is something fun because, Disney fans always talk about the Disney bubble all the time. How I'm in the Disney bubble. Things are great. It's nice. The minute I step off, it's just nuts. Everything feels immersive, themed. It's kind of protected from the outside world. But when you leave that environment, some things suddenly feel very different. So here are a few moments when I realized I was definitely no longer in the Disney bubble. Okay, we mentioned this before in the previous show, but I'll bring it up again because it's a significant bubble. And number one is casinos. Royal Caribbean's got them. Lights flashing, slot machines, poker tables, smoke. And that's something that Disney Cruise Lines just simply doesn't have. They just don't have that. And I bring this up because on the first day, embarkation day, when we did Royal Caribbean, we entered the casino only once during a cruise the entire time. And it was the first day we did it. We really don't gamble, so we wouldn't have frequented a casino anyway. But the one time we did go through it was on, like I said, on embarkation day, trying to get to the buffet. Because, it wasn't really much to do. Our staterooms aren't ready. So, why not? Let's go eat. We went to the Windjammer, which is their buffet. So we decided to go eat. But we didn't know our bearings. So when we got onto the ship, we knew we had to go left. And so we went through things. Casino is one of the things we went through. So we walked through the casino. Not only is the fact that it was a casino, but it was also a smoking casino. Granted, one side was non-smoking, the other side was smoking, but you know how smoke does. It just migrates everywhere.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised too that it'd be so really pugnant. It singes the nostrils. It was kind of crazy because the casino wasn't even open yet. They weren't even, because we were still in port, so there was nobody at the tables. Nothing was happening. But as we were strolling through, it was like, oh, this sucks. I don't like this. Get me out of here. So yeah, that was like the thing is like, man, no, we're not coming back in here. We'll do everything we can to get around said casino just because number one, we just, not doing the casino, but I just don't want to deal with the smoke.
The kids could walk through the casino?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's different.
Casino. Yeah. Nobody stopped them or anything else.
Gambling's for everybody.
And smoking.
Can't stand at a table or sit at a table or machine or whatever else. But, there were several times, even when like normal operation of the day, it's like people would just cut through the casino to get to the other side of the ship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I did the long way around, of course. Went up a deck and then shot over and came back down just because I didn't want to deal with it.
First time we went to MOW, we couldn't take Lily because they didn't have a separate entrance open yet.
No way.
So you would have had to walk to the casino to get to MOW, and because of that, she wasn't allowed to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now she is, and now she has a predilection for $50 an ounce steak.
Hey, good taste that kid's got. We spoiled her. Yeah.
Woof.
Yes. All right. Bubble test number 2 is the drink packages. And this is something I mentioned to Rachel when I first got on. It's the, the whole drink package culture. It feels like it. I felt like Royal Caribbean heavily promoted the unlimited drink packages or the various drink packages they have. Most of it was on night 1, but there was a couple of times where they'd say, hey, you can still get in on this for a reduced rate, that kind of stuff, or day 2, whatever else.
Wait, the promotion is unlimited drinks for the whole trip?
The whole trip, yes. Yes, for this price, if you remember, is like it felt like there was a mortgage that you had to get out.
Oh, that's right.
In order to pay for it, because it was very, very expensive.
I would
entirely,
Yeah, I bet
they would lose money on Anna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's a challenge, right, for both of us. Yeah.
But yeah, there's bars everywhere. They have special drink menus. Of course, I mentioned the margarita happy hour, which I took part of because I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a different vibe compared to Disney. And I didn't get the drink package because, like I said, it was expensive. And for me, my calculations indicated it would require a lot of drinking for me to even break even.
Refresh my memory. How much was it?
If I remember correctly, was it like 400 or 500 or something like that?
Well, like.
Or no,
the whole trip?
No.
So that would be
per person.
It's probably, so here's the deal. It is different for every cruise. The pricing of the drink package changes not only like cruise to cruise, but even like after you sign up for your cruise and you can see the packages and stuff in the app because you purchase it separately in the app, that price will even change. So they'll have like promotions and then all of a sudden it'll be cheaper. And so you can add it on. If you happen to book it at a more expensive price and then it goes down, you can cancel your old one and add it at the new price. So you can still get the savings, but it ranges in price. So for shorter cruises, it tends to be a little bit more expensive per night because people are more likely to buy it for a shorter cruise. And then for longer cruises, it's usually more expensive per night. I would say, based on my experience from the many cruises that I've done, it's been somewhere in the neighborhood of like $70 to $75 per person per night, plus tax and gratuity. So 400, Kevin, sounds about right to me.
Yeah,
because that sounds like 70-ish plus tax and gratuity per night because it was a 4-night cruise.
Yeah.
$500
That sounds
for
about
unlimited
right.
drinking. They see me come, they're like, we changing that rate.
Well, so
changing that.
our first Royal Caribbean cruise was a 3-night and we definitely got our money's worth out of that drink package. We were glad we got it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we're never cruising without the drink package. This is amazing. Like, you walk up to any bar you want, you get whatever you want. If you don't like it, you just give it back to them and you get something different. Like, no cost at all. No, your gratuity is already paid. Like, you've already paid. Everything is included. And that was amazing.
Yeah. I was going to say, that sounds like a deal. Just the fact that gratuity is, because most drinks are got to be between $15 and $20.
Easily,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say.
So we went to there's a Southern restaurant on board the ship that Kevin was on. And we would go to that restaurant. It's called Mason Jar. And they had like a whiskey bar because it's a Southern restaurant or Southern themed. And my husband got, you guys know Josh, he got E.H. Taylor, which is a pretty expensive whiskey every night, just included in our drink package.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, so they have Blanton's and stuff. So they have good stuff too, that they include top shelf stuff. Not all top shelf is included, but there was some stuff that I would consider to be pretty top shelf that they did include. So I do think it can be a value. We did get it one time for a 7-night cruise, actually on the ship that Kevin was on when we were on the Wonder for 7 nights. And it is really hard to get your value out of 7 nights. Like we can handle our drinks, but 7 nights of that is a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of don't realize it. Like, you think to yourself like, oh, that's like 4 drinks a day or whatever. Because plus, like, you can get coffee and we would get juices at the gym and the spa, like fresh juices, and it includes all of that. So we were like, it includes all of our drinks Plus, like, we drink a lot of seltzers and like club sodas and stuff. So it includes that too, which would normally be an upcharge. And so we were like, oh, this is a value even at 7 nights. But you don't normally, I don't know, at least us, we don't normally drink 7 nights a week. And so you don't realize like by night 4, that's actually kind of a lot after night 4. So anyway, so we don't do it for the long cruises anymore because it's just too much.
Yeah. Go to kidney failure.
You can't sustain that pace.
That's vacation. What are you talking about?
For the 3 to 4 nights, it's fantastic. And I do recommend it because you do get a very all-inclusive feel. It is just a wonderful vacation to just go up to any bar or, restaurant that's not, everything but the specialty restaurants, which are like really off on their own. So you don't necessarily like go into them unless you mean to.
Okay.
And so everything just feels included, which is so great. So anyway, we really loved that part of Royal Caribbean that they offered the drink package because that's not something Disney even offers.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a completely different kind of concept.
I was going to say that's a good challenge, especially if you could get like waters or something if you try to recoup from having too much to drink. That's still a good advantage.
Every time we would walk by a bar and order something, we would also get like 2 water bottles. And so we would just down a water and then have our drink. And you stay hydrated that way. We drink so many bottles of water.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because I know I'm sure if we went and booked that for, we would probably go to the doctor's office and knock on it and say, remember this face. You might be passed out, kidney failure. Just take a good look at this right here. We get in the pack. Yeah.
That's an excellent point you make, Rachel, because it's like, well, after I did the calculations and, I mentioned that we frequented Boleros a lot of the times that we were there. And so just by, we usually had a couple of drinks there each night and maybe like an extra drink during the day. And thinking about like margarita happy hour. And then we also bought a case of bottled water. Once you add all that stuff up, I was probably getting close to what it would have cost for the drink package. Maybe 2/3 of the way there. So maybe an extra drink here or there every day. I might have been able to break even. But at first thought, it just seemed very daunting because it seemed very like this is a lot of money up front.
Yeah. And the other thing to know too, you're right. The other thing to know is that if you have another adult in the room, they are required to also get it.
Exactly.
And so if you don't have a spouse that's going to also get the value out of it, it's probably not worth it.
And I think that's the other piece that I have too. I mean, my wife probably wouldn't drink as much as I could. Okay. She can, but I mean, she just doesn't in general.
So I was going to say, so then now you have this prior knowledge, if you were to go back, would you get the package now? Or
I'd have to weigh my options. If I could get it for just me, absolutely. Right. That's hands down. But if depending on who I'm traveling with, like if I was traveling with you guys, absolutely no problem. That's a non.
Well, because it's included on the island too.
Right. It's on the island too. You can get it, but it depends on if I'm traveling with my spouse or I'd have to think about it's kind of like when we go to Fogo de Chao, which is like a Brazilian place. It's at least $50 a head per meal, if not more. My wife always just thinks like, I'm never going to eat that much meat. She's a little thing. She's a little skinny little thing. So she barely doesn't eat as much as I do. So she's always like, I don't know if I'll even get worth it. My kids wouldn't even eat that much. So it's kind of like that. I have to weigh my options to see what we're feeling that particular time. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll just go nuts and just say, hey, let's do it. Maybe me and my wife will go without the kids. And it's like, all right, we can just party and just, you're just going to do it and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at the end.
I think including it on the island is a huge value, especially on the 3-night cruises.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's one whole day where your whole day is covered.
Yeah. Somebody pukes on that water slide. I want no piece of that.
Oh my gosh. One time, our very first Royal Caribbean cruise there was a bachelorette party on the island that day. And we got back into the elevator, on the ship to get back up to our room. And Bachelorette was in the elevator with us. And I was like, she's having a rough afternoon. That drink package was not friendly to her. It was actually, because it was our first Royal Caribbean cruise. Josh and I were like, we're not at Disney anymore.
Oh man, she's in the elevator. Just don't let my husband see me like this.
Yeah, it was a lot of, her friends were trying to keep her standing. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's funny.
My kids were like, is she okay? I was like, she's just made some poor choices. It's okay.
But Mom, she's green. Mom, she's green.
But she's not driving.
She's not driving.
She's not driving. She was perfectly safe.
Yes.
Seems like she had some good friends.
That's a good time right there. Ooh wee.
All right, and so the last bubble in this little bubble test thing, of course, is something we mentioned is the character's atmosphere. And that's the obvious one, right? Disney characters on the Disney ships, they're everywhere. They'll even have like picture things, moments that you get a chance to, like they would in the parks. Yes, Royal Caribbean has picture moments, but it's a little bit different. I feel like every evening, and I don't know if you experienced this, Rachel, but I felt like every night after we got out of our main dining room dinner, it was like we walk out and it's like there's picture stations everywhere. You know, people are
lots of
in
pictures.
line to take pictures and stuff, whatnot. But no characters, of course. You know, you don't see. We talked about the astronauts. You can take pictures with astronauts, but they don't really do anything or interact.
It's like a bad prom. Kinda, right?
Yeah. You have
It's
to,
kind of, there's a lot of like prom photo stations. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of prom photo stations. It's pretty crazy. And it's like, I watched a YouTube video and I thought at least the effectors would come out, but I didn't see the effectors once on the prom. Sometimes they did, like there's at one point, I guess they did a show in the promenade and I thought, well, maybe we'll meet some characters there or something, or meet something. No, nothing, no good. You know, Disney ships all over the place. You know that. Royal Caribbean, not so much.
Okay.
You know, so yeah. So those are pretty much three of the bubbles that I noticed that if you're a Disney fan taking a non-Disney cruise line ship, this is something that you'll notice. Not that it's bad or anything else, but it's just something you have to recognize if you're extremely hardcore, dare I say it, pixie dusty type of Disney fan. It's like, you know, everything that they do is like awesome and they can do no wrong kind of business. But you have to recognize this will be some factors if you decide to take a Royal Caribbean. I didn't mind it so much, but I did notice it was a difference. Yeah. You know, and maybe because I've had experiences on Carnival as well, so it wasn't really as like, oh my God, kind of a thing. Or I'm not so much of a Disney fan where I'm just like, I'd turn my nose away from that kind of stuff.
But,
you know?
But to be fair to Royal, right? They don't have, I mean, the commercials that I've ever seen of them, they've never had a mascot or a fictional character that comes out, you know,
like a king. I am the king of the Royal Caribbean.
I am royal.
I am, get the drink package.
I am the crown and the anchor.
Yeah, exactly, right? They don't have a person like that. So yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone to show up for something like that. But I mean, Disney, on the other hand, it's Disney. Any character, anytime, anywhere. So
any place, yeah.
I get that.
The universe travels with it. All right, so let's take a step back for a second, kind of put this whole thing into perspective. Last episode, we started this comparison by looking at the ships themselves, the whole philosophy, Disney Cruise Line versus Royal Caribbean, Magic versus Megaship. We talked about how Disney focuses on storytelling, immersion, and that classic ocean liner feel, while Royal Caribbean goes big, massive ships, neighborhoods, attractions, basically a floating city. And on this episode, we took a step further and talked about the actual vacation feels like. We compared the private islands, Castaway Cay versus CocoCay, relaxing versus high energy, options. And then we got into what happens when you leave the Disney bubble. What can you experience, which is different from a Disney Cruise Line ship versus a Royal Caribbean ship. And then you realize the rest of the cruise world operates maybe just a little bit differently, you know? But we're not done yet. We are not done yet, because on the next episode, we end this trilogy of Royal Caribbean versus Disney. And we're getting to the part that might matter the most. The food, the adult experience, and ultimately, the cost comparison. So if you've been wondering whether Disney is worth the premium, next episode is where we answer that question. Because at some point, somebody's got to pay for that drink package.
Yeah.
Yes. And as always, if you have any questions or comments on our series of Royal Caribbean versus Disney Cruise Line, or if you just want to book a vacation, you're ready now, you're convinced one way or the other, make sure you get in touch with us, and we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed this particular discussion comparing Royal Caribbean and Disney. And look, if you want to learn more about us, the Magic Our Way podcast, make sure you follow us on any social media platform. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions or ask any questions, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, or call or text us. I did say text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815-MOWEEKEND 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people who do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does great things with comics. What you got, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. As always, you guys check out the Ivory Comics website to see all the good works that I have. Project Geisha, Savages, and About to Be Damned. Also on that website, there's blogs and interviews and a link to the Magic Our Way podcast, so you never miss a beat. You never miss an episode. You never miss what Kevin has against the beach. I don't know, but you get that link, you will learn. I learned a lot. Follow that link. So yeah, I appreciate the support when you visit the Ivory Comics website. On social media, Facebook, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. That's me. And as long as you're a real person, it's a pleasure to meet you. If you're a bot, I don't need to greet them out. Get on out of there. Also on Facebook, there is a Project Geisha fan page, so check that out. On Instagram, seeing what you guys and girls got posted up your hearts and the likes. You can find me at EIV504 over there. And of course, on X, you can find me at Hancock10166. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, they just bring me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And like I said, if you're ready to book that Royal Caribbean or Disney Cruise Line vacation, Rachel can help you book that. She can even help you book a trip out in August for, what is it this year? Is it D23 or is it Destiny? I guess it's D23, right?
It's D23, yeah. This year.
So you can help people book that as well, right?
Yeah, you can go see Josh tomorrow in his first appearance as Disney's new CEO.
And his lovely hair.
And his lovely hair. Yeah, in his native California. So anyway, I can help get you there. The best way to reach me is by email. My email is Rachel, RACHEL @magicourway.com. You can also find me on social media. I'm at Our Family Magic. That's the letter R and the words Family Magic all smooshed together. And that is on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And so you can find me there as well. You can call me. I have a phone number. That phone number is 978-432-WISH, WISH. And you can leave me a voicemail and text me. That phone number works all the ways a phone number would work. So go ahead and send those messages too. I can book you to go anywhere you'd like to go. That's Disney destinations all around the world, Universal on both coasts, cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyages, Norwegian Cruise Line, and major hotel brands around the world. I think I've said it before, but it's true. If you can sleep there, I can probably book it for you. So please reach out. The best part is this costs you nothing extra. It's exactly the same price as you would pay on your own. Sometimes it's even less because I help you find a deal that maybe you didn't know about and I apply it for you. So you might even save money, and a little piece of the cost of your vacation comes back to support this podcast and this fan community with no extra effort from you. So it's an easy way to support us. It's a cheap way to support us for you because you would have paid that money on your vacation anyway. And I can help as much or as little as you like. So please reach out. I'd be honored to help you book your trip. And we thank you so much.
In addition, y'all go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast. And another option that only costs a minute or so of your time is to leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcast and or review access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Quaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right. Nachos are on plates.
And yar. Bye.